live from Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessica Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV and Roku.
All right, we've got hawks flying by. It's a gorgeous sunny day. We went from some winter a couple weeks ago in LA to a hot day up here.
Yeah, it's like the weather in LA is sort of like the people, occasionally a little temperamental.
Hot and cold, hot and cold.
We're usually in studio in West Hollywood, but today we're experiencing Bel Air because, hey, this is La La Land.
Right, celebrating so many great interviews. We just have had an incredible community, incredibly deep conversations about good news, inspiration, and positivity.
It's impossible, I think, to narrow the list down of like our favorite interviews. But I will say, definitely love Lori Harder, who we're featuring today. Definitely love Joyce Gerard.
Right?
Absolutely. And Katie Austin, daughter of Denise Austin, fitness and transformation icon.
Can't forget Dr. Pimple Popper. You know, what are you going to say? 2 billion views, over 2 billion views in YouTube. Incredible.
Yeah.
Right?
Once you see it once, you can't unsee it. So
it's unforgettable for sure. I loved all the interviews. It's been a great, what do you guys thought about this? I mean, 100 days into it, we're in this celebrating this entire week. What's it been like for you guys?
It's fantastic. I mean, it's incredible to me how much I learned from every single guest. There's not been a guest on the show that I haven't learned something that I can apply to my life immediately. So I'm just really deeply grateful about that.
Absolutely, and honoring hashtag Transformation Tuesday as we do every week here on Good Morning La La Land, I can truly say that these conversations have transformed not only my thought perspective, but my entire life.
Right. Perfect for Transformation Tuesday.
I have to say, like, I also have had like a shift in my perception around even like reality show stars, like just getting into their story and how genuine a lot of people are. Like, I have to say that I didn't realize how much like of a stigma that you feel from reality shows and things like that. So I've shifted myself for sure.
Love it.
Well, when we come back, a few of our favorite interviews. Stay tuned on Good Morning La La Land. I'm Jessica Moyer, co-host of Good Morning La La Land with my associate producer,
Victoria Simone.
and we are coming to you live from Bel Air, absolutely La La Land.
Yes, speaking of La La Land, who was on Good Morning La La Land?
This week was incredible. We got motivated by Natalie Ellis.
Yes, the OG boss babe.
And we perfected our tribe with Lori Harder. She's got a great new book
Called A Tribe Called Bliss.
We talked to a great lifestyle dating coach, Miss Therese Germain.
Founder of The Compass.
We also had on Stephen Barber. He
Yes.
is the founder of Vanilla Sky Productions.
Yes, and former military man.
We also featured Miss Sally Cologne.
Yes, she's a female director, producer, and documentarian, and a member of the Focus TV family.
We also had an incredible psychic reading with a world-renowned intuitive psychic, Rebecca Fearing.
Yes.
And we chose love with Seb Depot.
We also learned to let it go with our girl Shafali in the house. Let's look at a clip of her singing.
Emoji.
You were my sky, I was your prize. Was she worth the ride? Yeah. All this time, thought you were mine, mine. Yeah. I've been telling myself what I already know. Yeah. Already know. Yeah. Something about you got me so twisted. We could have ruled the world, baby, admit it. 'Cause baby, you know I'm yours. Baby, you know I'm yours. It's hard to let you go, yeah.
What? Love that song.
That girl can sing.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in to This Week in La La Land.
It's gonna be a good morning, La La Land.
I mean, clearly. Bye, guys.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited to have in the house Katie Austin this morning.
Yay!
Nice to meet you.
Tuesday, Transformation Tuesday.
Okay,
right.
so we have to get this straight. So before we began this little segment,
Yes.
Rob was like, I think I've met your mom
definitely
before.
met you. Cannot.
And he was like, I think I was at the White House. And Justin and I are like, what? Like, you just like, it's just some random.
Well,
like,
it's so wild because when you meet, it's like meeting you. When you meet your mom, you don't forget it. And I remember meeting her. It was a Special Olympics event, and I think your mom's involved in Special Olympics.
Her mom is Denise Austin, by the way.
Yeah, just so we're clear. And I remember literally walking down the hallway with a girlfriend of mine. My girlfriend knew of course, her personally and said, "Oh my gosh, Denise, how are you?" And we started having this conversation. I remember thinking, "Oh my goodness, that's Denise Austin, and her energy is just as real in person as it is on TV."
She wakes up every day around 6 a.m. and that energy is totally natural. It doesn't even take her a cup of coffee. It's so natural. I mean, I love it, but as your mom, it can be a lot.
So you got it from your mama. It's
yeah, I
true.
don't have as much energy as she does. I definitely don't. But yeah, she's very inspiring.
But it's
in
just
that
as
way.
positive and just as infectious, and
thank
just a
you.
different flavor.
Thank you.
I mean, I see all your
appreciate it.
Instagram posts, and you're like dancing and having fun.
Speaking of her Instagram, 17 Magazine nominated you as one of the top 10 fitness Instagrams to follow.
Yeah.
Huge honor. How do you
Thank
feel about
Thank
that?
you. That was right when I started out this business as well, about a year and a half ago. So that was crazy to me. And then they gave me a spread in 17 Magazine about 3 months after that, which was, 17 Magazine growing up was my dream. And so that was one of the huge honors, especially just getting started in the fitness industry. So that was really, really amazing.
That's so
Super
great.
So what made you decide to follow in your mom's footsteps?
Ooh, okay, so it's more of a story than just an aha moment, but a cliche thing I always say is I've been following her around since I was 6 weeks old. That was my first trip to Hawaii, watching her film her fitness videos. I mean, she had a show for 24 years, and so I grew up in the industry, bringing her camera crew to the house, I was traveling with her everywhere, so I grew up watching her film these fitness videos, and I guess it was always a little part of me that loved it, but I didn't know it because, I was in college, I was just, having fun, and also I was a D1 athlete, so as you're a D1 athlete, you don't really think about anything else. In high school,
what is that?
Division one.
Division one, yeah,
Okay.
sorry. So I went to USC, I played lacrosse. My whole life, lacrosse was my life. I was going to get a scholarship, playing really hard every single weekend, all my summers, so I didn't have time to think about a career. I was 18, 19 years old. And then when I got to USC, after 2 years of playing lacrosse, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in LA. I can do so much more with this, scholarship and turn it into something that I always wanted to do. So my junior year of college, I auditioned for a TV show and I got it, and it kind of just started from there.
And the show was?
Honestly, it was like a variety show and a sports show. I got my degree in sports broadcasting, but, and I also do that on the side. I'm rambling here. But it was then my senior year, it turned into a little wellness segment. So I got 5 minutes every Wednesday to do a little fitness segment. And off that, my senior year, I really loved it. I fell in love with it. I found out it was my passion. And so I turned it into a blog.
Wow.
I know, it was like some crazy steps to get there.
Right?
Nothing happens overnight, but
It's incredible.
Yeah.
What I love about your story is it's so organic, though. It seemed
Yeah.
like, while you were clear that there were certain things that you loved doing, you sort of also trusted what showed up in your life.
Totally.
Right? Is that been a
Totally.
theme for you, sort of trusting your intuition about things? Or?
Yeah, truly, I love what I do. And I think fitness especially, it's so rewarding knowing that you're helping others. It's an industry that it's so, I don't know, you feel so grateful for it because you're helping others. And so when you're helping others, it becomes such a deep passion that I love so much. I honestly don't even consider my work. I wake up every day so happy that I'm doing it. And I sound so overly positive right now, but it's true. I love what I do.
One of the things I love most about your program and your message is it's not about comparison or body shaming.
right.
And that really resonates with a lot of the millennial girls.
Totally.
Let's talk about
It's
that.
really, I didn't even have it growing up. When I was in middle school or in high school, social media wasn't even a huge thing. I got Facebook maybe my sophomore year of high school, so I didn't really grow up with it as much as the girls are now. So, on Instagram, on social media, you compare your life to other people's highlight reels all the time. And it's just a really hard thing to do, to sit there and go on Instagram and be like, shoot, that girl's having a better life than I am. I look at other girls and I'm like, dang, she's so much more fit than I am. She's doing, more stuff than I am. But realizing that your journey is exactly where you're supposed to be is really important, and realizing also not to look at others to get fit and have their body, but to focus on your body, and that's how you're supposed to work out and get fit, is to only focus on yourself is really important.
Well, and because so many people's motivation is to look that way,
Yeah.
right? So if I do this workout, I'm going to look like her. Well, I'm never going to look
Right,
like
and
her.
that's almost the sad part about the fitness industry too. It's overly saturated with using other girls' bodies and, the big butt, the skinny waist. And some girls are never going to get that because that's just their body type. I could never grow a nice, huge booty over here. It's I wasn't born that way. So it's just how you're born as well, and realizing who you are is who you are.
Has it been tough to maintain that mentality, being in the fitness industry?
Totally.
Are there certain things that you do to make sure that you maintain that kind of self-loving
Totally.
perspective?
Well, it's also kind of hard because a lot of people assume that, you know, the path I've been given in the fitness industry is super easy because of my mom. And so the pressures that even come with that are very hard to, you know, deal with. But also, like I said, realizing that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I graduated college a year ago. I still have a long way to go. I really just started this business in the last year. And so I think where I am is really great. I just have to remind myself that how lucky I am, especially to be in Los Angeles. I mean, I grew up in Virginia, and I've dreamed of this place my whole entire life, and so I just feel really lucky every day.
Right. So we've had a few you know, fit experts and things on the show, and one thing I'm really loving, I realized that I had to really reprogram myself because, you know, I'm a bit older than you, and my generation was all about skinny, skinny, skinny. No fat, you know, no weights. We just did cardio, and it was all about being skinny. And what I love about you and about a lot of the movement is, like, you're very thin, but you're not like anorexic. And I don't want to learn from I don't want to have that pressure of that. And I love that the women are lifting more weights. So for you in your helping people get fit, how much are you promoting women to lift weights versus the old school cardio only?
Yeah, so it's funny because I have a little bit of a different journey with lifting weights. I was a lacrosse player in college, and I lifted a ton. Like, I mean, 200 pounds. I could have lifted. Yeah,
Lacrosse players are no joke.
Wow.
Especially at USC.
I look a little bit on the thinner side now, but I was pretty, you know, I was pretty strong. And I love that, you know, playing a sport, it's so empowering.
Oh my goodness.
But now I actually don't lift more than like 10 pounds. I do lift weights, and I still do body weight exercises.
Wait, 200 pounds and 10 pounds.
Yep.
What do you mean?
I lost a lot of weight, a lot of muscle, but I gained it back. I gained some of it back. But yeah, strong is the new sexy, which is an amazing, amazing thing for women, for sure.
For sure.
It's so interesting, and you're sort of right about that. I think as we get older, we sort of, our goals and our priorities change, right? Because I remember in college, like, I wanted to lift as much weight as humanly possible. You know what I mean? I wanted to get real big, and then over time you realize it's a lot to maintain as well, and so it's very time consuming. For you, you know, I know it's a challenge, but if you were to tell people a couple of tips that they might, you know, what tips could you give people that want to stay in shape and be strong but not be overly big?
Well, I think the main key is keeping it very practical. So if you're, you know, going into the gym and you're thinking you're going to lift your college weight, or, you know, wanting to lift, you know, for 200 pounds, you know, keeping it realistic is really, really important, and just starting. So if you're looking at some girls on Instagram, compare yourself, be like, wait, I can't do those. Like, I can't do that for 45 minutes. Just start. Just start with 10 minutes a day for a walk, for a nice jog, and then go up from there and make it really practical. So that's why my workouts are really realistic, is because they can be done all in-home workouts, and all you need is like 10 pounds, as that's all I say. That's my program. It doesn't go over that. You don't need a gym. It doesn't even be too intimidating. And I think that's the main key, is definitely keeping it practical.
You also seem like you keep it fun.
I do.
Yeah.
And she's got great recipes too. Great tips on food.
Thank you.
Because it's not all about the time you spend in your gym. It's about the time you
Totally.
spend in the kitchen.
I mean, it's 80% what you eat, unfortunately. I mean, the workout part for me personally is more keeping myself confident and more full of self-love. So obviously get to those abs too sometimes, but more so just on the inner.
Yeah, it's interesting what you said earlier when we were sort of tossing back to you in the front studio there. I noticed in my own life that when I stopped stressing so much, I was able to like lose weight more easily, and a lot of things just click.
It's true.
And so it sounds like that's part of your philosophy too.
Yeah. So my mom has always been the most positive person on earth. So I think it just resonated with me growing up to be positive. That's how you do it. If, you know, if something went wrong, a little thing. I mean, my car didn't start this morning, and I was just like, all right, you're still lucky. You're still able to be here. So you just have to kind of reassure yourself that what's going on in your life is probably minor to someone else's problems as well. So staying grateful.
So we're running out of time, but I want you to tell us, what is your program exactly? Is it, I don't know.
So actually, I'm coming out with an app in a little under a month, and I'm so excited because I've been working on this for a while. But my program is a membership program. It has over 70 in-home workout videos, and I add a new one every 2 weeks. I give you something to do every single day. So whether that's an in-home workout video or picture exercises or a different recipe to follow, every single day it's a link out, and it's right there on your desktop, and now it's coming to an app.
Love it.
I love
What's
that.
folks?
Congratulations.
Katie Austin.
Easy to remember.
Very creative. Very creative.
And I'm assuming that's the website also. Where else can they find you?
GetFitWithKatie.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Well,
Yes.
so nice to meet
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Incredible energy, and
you,
just
thank
so
you.
excited to know you guys got to
Yeah,
finally
I know,
meet.
it's crazy.
What, 7 years ago?
Yes,
Over a
actually.
little, like 11 years
From
ago.
the White
Yeah.
House
Yeah.
to Focus TV studios and La La Land.
Super excited for your adventure
you.
and
Thank
helping
you
so
so
many
much.
people. Thank you so much for all your work. So
Thank you.
stay tuned, you guys. We'll be right back to wrap up this Transformation Tuesday.
Welcome back. We're all so excited.
We're so excited.
Roz, take it away.
We've got Lori Harder. She's my friend. She's the best-selling author of A Tribe Called Bliss, and she's here today to talk to us a little bit about the book and about her life. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so excited to be back here
So
with the
excited to have
book.
you.
Right?
I know. Best-selling book at that.
Yeah, I feel like before when I came back, I was like, I have this book. I don't know if it's ever going to get done.
How do you feel? It's done and it's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much. I feel awesome. I feel the thing is though, you work so hard on a book and then you're just in the beginning because you go from author to now marketer of your book.
It's so true.
so
right?
I'm in marketing.
Right, and just to give a little bit more background, because we all wanted to introduce you. So Lori Harder is a best-selling author, obviously, and she is a creator of Earn Your Happy podcast. I think you have how many, like 7 million downloads now? I mean, hello. She's TED speaker. You've done TED Talk, and you're the creator of the Bliss Project and founder of Start Your Tribe Now. So incredible, amazing, extraordinary boss babe for sure.
Thank you. It's like overwhelming to even hear that.
Which was harder, TEDx,
Yeah, right.
book, cover model? Which is the hardest, do you think, or most intimidating for you?
I mean, cover model took years, so
Yeah.
that's just like a journey in and of itself because it's an interesting journey because you're kind of being chosen by someone, where the others you are more, getting out there and making sure you're putting yourself out there. You're creating your path for yourself. TEDx was crazy in itself just because, you guys, it's 15 minutes to get across one point. Like, I don't even know how to get across one point in like, I don't know. It's just one point. You can't talk about anything else. But the book has been the thing that has truly been the most up-leveling in my life. I'm still in it. I mean, I'm still in the thick of it. So I would say that's the hardest.
What's been so challenging about it?
In order to connect with people, you have to be really real and you have to be vulnerable. And you're putting your whole story and your whole soul out into the world and going, hope you like it. Like, this is my inner deep truth, and you're putting it out there. So it's kind of, how much do you want to share? How much are you willing to put out? And honestly, even just structuring and organizing was really challenging for me because I'm very creative. So getting something very linear that will make sense to everyone and learning what points to share and what not to share.
Did
to
you
make sure
learn
they're
anything about yourself when you wrote this book?
Oh yeah. I mean, the lessons there's so many lessons. I would say that I learned that humans can truly do anything that they put their mind to, and that we need so much help to get stuff done. So it just ensured the book, Tribe. I was like, I needed a tribe to get this done. I can't tell you all of the people, all of the love, everything that went into it when I wanted to quit. I called on all the people in my life just to get me through the process.
The book, so let's talk about the book. You have breakthrough, superficial friendships, create real connections, and reach your highest potential. So that to me is almost different than a tribe. Like, it's like almost like becoming your highest self. So talk about what's actually in the book.
So the book is really it's going to teach you not only about your tribe, but what happens is we want these friends and we want this life, but if we're not doing the actual work alongside of creating our tribe, and when I say the work, I mean of becoming your highest potential, we're never going to be able to actually hold what comes with the friends that we desire. So we want these up-leveled friends, but that means that we have to be up-leveling ourselves to hold what comes with it. Because I don't know about you, but I've walked into a room full of amazing women and been like, oh, I don't belong here. What do I have to offer? I don't even know what to say. I'm such a weirdo. Why did I say that? Like, that is what's on repeat in my head over and over. So what happens is you have to have the tools to do the self-talk to even be able to know that you are enough in this moment, that what are you going to say to yourself after you leave that particular event? That's all that matters, is if we change the stories in our heads. So the book runs parallel to building your tribe and how to show up within your tribe, but then also how to show up for yourself and how to really change those old patterns in your head.
I love that.
It's what I love most about this book. It's such a powerful, profound testament to your own journey. And you didn't always have this incredible tribe. Even as a child, I think you sort of hinted at that, more than hinted at that in the book, that it started with a very sort of independent childhood. Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes. You know, I think throughout life, because I was raised in a restrictive religion, that was my tribe, right? My family was my tribe and my religion was my tribe because I wasn't allowed to associate with people outside of that. So what happened though is when I started to change and I started to be like, is this my path? Does this fit with where I want to go? What we don't realize about our tribes, and I'm just referring to that because it makes sense with everything in our lives, we have these agreements that we don't even know that we agreed to within our friendships, within our family, that says you're loved and accepted here, but if you end up changing or you become this, you may not be loved and accepted. And these aren't necessarily even verbal agreements, but these are agreements within, maybe it's at work, maybe it's within our best friend group right now, maybe it's within our gym. If you start acting in a certain way, if you start becoming this person, if you don't go to our Wednesday night wine nights anymore, if you don't, you know, sit around and talk and gossip about people, then you're not going to be accepted into this tribe. So for me, that happened at a young age where it was like, well, what if this is not aligned with who I am anymore? I didn't have people outside of that tribe, so I was so scared to transcend, to cross the bridge. So the book is about creating the people on the other side of the bridge before you have crossed, so that you know what that journey is going to look like, you know what it's going to feel like when you start getting freaked out or you start noticing that the bridge is really rickety and you don't think you're gonna make it. They tell you to look upward and to just keep coming, and that's what it's gonna feel. It's gonna feel scary, it's gonna feel rocky, keep going, this is what it's supposed to be. So if we don't have that, we're always going to go back to the thing that's half filling us.
I do think that our tribe, our community really develops us. I mean, it's easy to stay, you know, it's hard, it's challenging enough to like stay and have your life work just with you and a small, whatever, a few friends or whatever, and you're doing your individual work, whatever. But coming into a community, even like this show, like it challenges you. It makes you develop. It makes you like have to be nicer, have to follow through, have to not be reactive, all those things. And I look at it like the tribe is really your spiritual journey. It's really developing you in so many layers upon layers of ways. So it's such a cool conversation.
I love that, because that is what this is all about, is putting yourself in those friendships, putting yourself in those rooms where the people that you have to be, or that you're around, you just end up having to show up as your higher self, as your future self, as the self you know is in you, but is not yet called out. And the only way it's going to get called out is through the people that you're surrounding yourself with and through the experiences you're you know, putting yourself in.
For sure.
What's great about this book too, and about you, is that you break it down into really actionable steps, like almost even scripts, right? So where would a person start? Let's say somebody, you know, feels very lonely. Maybe there's one out there, she feels very lonely. She doesn't have a tribe. She doesn't even really have any close girlfriends. Where does she start in terms of putting herself in the right places to meet the right people that she can start to build this tribe?
Well, there's kind of two parts there, because you can, you know, for me, when I moved from Minneapolis to California, I did not have anyone out here. So some things that I did is, we all have social media, and I kind of say to go with the low-hanging fruit, like go with the path of least resistance for this at first, because it's really scary. So what I did is I said, okay, what's something that I could bond with someone over? What would I have in common with someone, or what would I look for? I thought, well, fitness, I do events, so I'm going to start looking at hashtags. I literally looked at hashtags. Like I went
Hashtag friend search.
For real. I did like women's events LA, and I started to see who was putting on events. And I also started looking at people who were going to Soul Cycle classes, because I had started going to classes. And I would message them. I would literally slide into their DMs, like for real. Like I was creepy girl sliding into DMs. Like I did probably 50 messages, and I would make time for it, because I thought, I want a tribe here so bad. But the thing about the message, you guys, this is where it all has to come together, is you have to let them know what your intentions are. You have to let them off the hook. You have to let them know exactly how long it's going to be and respect that time frame. And you also have to let them know that no matter what happens, like afterward, there's no expectation that you ever even have to meet again.
Sounds like good dating advice.
The best. It is the best.
dating advice. It is. Otherwise, people are like, I just start sweating when I think of a woman being like, let's be friends, because I'm like, I don't know what she's going to want from me. I don't know her expectation. I don't know if I have time for it. So you have to put it all out there, literally like you're in the sandbox. Like, I like you. I want to be friends. You just have to be real with it, and also say what that expectation is. Maybe it's just once a month to start. Maybe we could meet for coffee for 30 minutes after a workout once a month.
And we do that, like, here at Good Morning LaLa, we've had like over 200 guests. There's extraordinary people. It's like there's no way that we can keep these one-on-one relationships.
Right.
So we're like creating events. We're going to be doing monthly. Because how do you do? So how do you, out of, I mean, thousands and thousands of people. How do you stay connected?
Well, I have events, but also.
But are they monthly? Are they like, how do people get involved with them?
So my event, the Bliss Project, is once a year. But for me, how I stay connected is I teach them to build their tribes, because I can't connect with everyone. And that's my work, right? That becomes my work when I say, wow, I feel really pulled in a million different directions, especially as women start reaching their goals. It becomes our work to actually let it be okay that we don't have to take everyone on the journey with us, that we could have just shared a really beautiful moment together. And that is enough. We don't have to carry them. We don't have to take care of them. We don't have to, make sure that they love us. And there's so much of that in the book, because we are people pleasers, so many of us in this planet, as women especially. So if we continue with that, we'll never actually have the close tribe that we want. So that's self-work in and of itself, is realizing not everyone is meant to be on your journey. But the book for me was a way for me to help other people just to create their own. Like, you don't have to be in mine. You don't have to be in hers. You don't have to be in this select group to get what you desire in your life. You create your own, and you can bring that group up together.
So true.
Huge part of it, too, which you point out so poignantly, is forgiveness. Right?
Yes.
So self-forgiveness and forgiveness of others. Can you talk a little bit about that?
We can't do anything without forgiveness, because, like, going back to these rooms that we want to insert ourselves in, or in these relationships that we want to be in, the stories that we tell ourselves afterward is either going to empower us to stay connected, or it's going to make us be alone again. So I'm constantly forgiving myself for everything that I'm doing in every single conversation, whether it's something little that I said that I was like, why did you say that? Or why didn't you compliment that person? Or why didn't you say how you felt? Like, the faster that I can forgive myself and just move into what would have felt good for me to say, and just trying to show up more authentic every day, because authenticity is just a complete practice. And in order to be authentic, it's forgiveness of when you weren't feeling authentic.
That's really intriguing to me. So you're saying, focusing on being authentic in the moment, it helps you remove the need to have to forgive yourself for not being enough.
Yes, absolutely. And then you can, I think when I feel my most authentic, even if I'm like, oh, that was really weird, or you just like totally was like, hey, I want to be a friend. At least I can go home and know that I was myself. And to be honest with you, whenever I know I'm being my most full version of me, people are drawn to you. You're like a magnet.
Oh yeah, you can't turn it off.
Yeah, absolutely. And then sometimes what can happen is you feel too much of a magnet. So the story can be, was I too much? Was I did I show up too much in the room? Are women going to be turned off because of that? And then that's the forgiveness as well, that was I too authentic? Should I have just been in the corner and downplayed who I am or what I really feel like? So forgiveness around that as well, but I'd rather be forgiving that than, what I
Isn't that interesting, though, that we still feel prompted to have to forgive ourselves for being the best version of ourselves?
Yes,
for showing up too much.
Yeah. And it's so important that we do that, because that's when we become walking permission for other women. Is they feel it. We need to see these models of what it actually looks like to be a full version of ourselves in a very loving way. Because if I don't see that, if I don't see other women showing up fully them, then of course I'm going to continue hiding. So I want to be in that room with the women who are just big and bold in themselves and showing up exactly how they feel that day.
Wow, it's so powerful. And that comes through beautifully in your relationship with Chris, with your husband. There's a story, actually, Chris and I were going to hang out one weekend, and we both got caught up in stuff, but it was my responsibility to get back to him, and I didn't get back to him right away. And I remember seeing him on Monday morning at the gym and being like, Chris, dude, I am so sorry. I totally meant to hang out. I promise. I meant to get back to you. And he said, Rob, I don't make up stories about why you didn't get back right away or not. And I was like, oh my God, I literally said that same thing to people, and I meant it, and I felt it. Because he's so self-accepting, and that's something that you both have in such in spades. You're self-loving and
you.
self-accepting. It allows other people to show up and be self-accepting and other accepting. So thank you for doing that for us.
Thank you.
sure.
Absolutely.
We're excited to have him on the show too.
Oh
Right?
yeah, he's excited to come on.
So excited. So building our tribe, we're so excited to read it and follow this journey, and because we're building our tribe here.
Yeah.
And it's, it's been a beautiful journey for all of us, and to build a community around Good Morning LaLa, it's been so fulfilling, incredibly fulfilling.
If there was one final takeaway that you had for the book, and I know people need to read the book to get them all, but if there was one big takeaway for you, what would be the greatest takeaway be that you wanted people to remember from the book?
That no matter what you feel like, or no matter how lonely you are, that there's a way to create this dream tribe that you've been thinking of, and that we are not meant to do it alone. So if you're feeling stuck in any area of your life or lonely in any area of your life, there's a way to support yourself. You just need the tools to do it.
Drop the mic. Okay, so mic drop. Nicely said, beautifully said. So we're gonna take a little break and bring Natalie back discussing what boss babes are doing on a day like this in La La Land. So stay tuned, you guys. Will
Live
be
in
right
Los Angeles with Good Morning La La Land and the gorgeous actress, producer, and philanthropist Joyce Gerard. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for coming.
Amazing.
Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, mommy's the best title.
Right.
In the universe.
So you have some amazing stories about how you met your husband and maintaining a successful relationship. Tell me about the moment you met him.
So it was a blind date, believe it or
Who
not.
set you up?
A blind date, believe it or not. A girl that neither of us really knew. I had met her once. He met her once. She was dating a guy that used to work for him at the time. And she calls me out of the blue. I met her once at a party, and she calls me out of the blue and says, I need you to meet this guy. And I'm like, no. I was like, I'm single by choice. I'm working on my career. And she's like, no, you got to meet this guy. And I said, no, I don't do blind dates. She lived in New York, by the way. And she tells me, I tell her, when you come to LA, naturally, organically, we'll all go to dinner. And she goes, no, I'm not coming to LA for the next couple months, so you have to meet the guy. And I'm like, no, you don't know me. You don't know what type of guys I like. I am not going to go meet it. No, he's a producer. And I said, oh, how cliche, just because I'm an actor. I have to date him. And she goes, you have to meet him. He is the man for you. You guys are going to get married. And I'm like, no. And I didn't trust her or nothing.
Wow.
She's not a matchmaker.
What made you change your mind?
I didn't. He stalked me for 3 months on the phone. She gave him my number. And when she gave him my number, I told her, you know what, lose my number because you're so disrespectful. You gave the guy my number. And now here I have this guy calling me. And on the phone, he sounded, and we've been together 16 years.
Wow.
And on the phone, he sounded, I kid you not, like he was 100 years old. And I was like, this girl thinks I'm a gold digger. And then I just want to date like the famous old producer. And I was like, oh my God. And there wasn't Google back in the day. I wasn't even opening my computer. I had a computer that I won in the Miss Puerto Rico pageant. And I had it in a box because I thought, if I take it out, it's going to get old. So it was in the box. It was like, it's so cute there, my computer. So I wasn't techie. I'm still not techie. And he just called me every day. And by the time, every time he called, I was like, oh, it's the oldie, but he's so nice. I don't want to be disrespectful. And so all my girlfriends would be like, oh, the oldie that's calling you. That's so, that's so
But you
screwed
kept
up. That
picking
this
up.
girl. But I picked up and I'm like, hi, listen, I'm in a meeting. Hi, I have to wash my hair. Hi, I have period pain. Hi. I mean, I had every excuse in the book because, you know. But on the phone, he was so nice. I remember once telling one of my girlfriends that I wanted to hook him up with her because I was like, Lauren, this guy, if he was only at least like 50, I would date him because he is amazing. He's the kindest soul you can imagine. He's sweet, he's funny. On the phone, I liked him. I said, you know what, this guy's gonna be my friend for a long time, but I wanna keep it clear that I'm never gonna date him. You know, it's just, I'm not gonna, no.
But you really didn't know how old he was. He just sounded old.
He just sounded old, but I knew nothing about him. And by the way, he doesn't just get that from me. He gets that from a lot of colleagues in the business.
He must be a wise old soul.
Well, he's German, so he talks, he talks with this accent that he doesn't think exists.
So then what? So how many weeks to how long did this go on?
3 months, he called me every single day, and for 3 months, I made excuses. And every week he made a party at his house just to have a place to invite me. Because I said, I even told him, there was a point where I even told him, look, it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna go out with you. I don't do blind dates. I'm sorry. I like you on the, you're very nice. I like you as a person, but I'm not gonna date you. So let's just keep it
the way. Let's keep it real. And he was like, so come to my party. I guess he was confident that if I met him, and I was like, no, yeah, what's the address? He made like 8 parties. I never showed up.
Wow.
And he always tells the story. He kept calling every day, and he would call me the day after the party. So I'm sad you couldn't make it, but I'll make another one next week.
Wow.
It's fine. He's like, I can do this forever. I can throw parties forever. It's fine.
Because he Googled. His friend that worked for him Googled and said, listen, this is the girl, you have to meet her. So he was like, oh yeah, he saw all the pictures and all this stuff, and he was like, oh my God, when I saw the pictures, I just wanted to meet you.
Wow.
So then finally one day, I was coming back from New York from doing a modeling job, and when he calls me, and I said, weren't you going to Germany? Are you on the plane? And back in the day, I thought, wow, how decadent. Lauren is gonna love this guy. Yeah. You know, he's calling me from the plane. That is so nice. And he says, yeah, what are you doing tonight? And I said, oh, I'm just gonna order in. I'm ordering Chinese. I love Chinese food. He goes, okay, I'll pick you up at 8. And I'm like, and it was just pure silence, and I had no excuse up my sleeve. Yeah, I was like, what am I gonna? I was like, well, I need to unpack. Well, and he goes, I'll pick you up at 8. And I'm like, well, perhaps we should do a coffee. And he goes, coffee's BS, using the entire word. I don't want to curse right. He goes, coffee's BS, I'll pick you up at 8. And I'm like, okay, I'll just be really ugly so that he just and then he's over me, and I'll take Lauren's picture in my clutch.
Wear a potato sack.
I was like, I'll take Lauren's picture so that, wow, look at my glamorous friend, and look at me. I mean, you got to date my glamorous friend. So he says, okay, I'll pick you up. And then I was really complicated. I said, no, you have to change the restaurant, just so that he would be turned off. Like, oh, this girl's complicated.
Oh my God,
so I said,
you were trying to sabotage
I was so sabotaging it, and thank God, what God has in stock for you, it's for you, and nothing can sabotage it, even yourself. And when I'm looking from my apartment, I'm looking down, and I see this big head of hair, and I call my best friend, and I'm like, Oldie has a toupee.
You did not. You did not.
Oh no.
So I'm like, oh my God, Oldie has a toupee. And she's like, oh my God, what restaurant are you going to? That is so embarrassing. And I'm like, oh my God, but he's so nice. You know, I don't have the heart to now cancel. And she goes, oh my God, just go to McDonald's or something. And I'm like, oh. So I go down. I'm like, okay, here we go. And I had zero makeup, hair in a bun, big fat cowboy jeans, flat cowboy boots, a wife beater, and a big jacket. So I looked like I was cleaning in my house.
No, he probably loved it.
Right? He always says, this is my favorite look. You go back to that. So I come out, and when I see him, I'm like, you're you? And he goes, finally. And I'm like, I was like, oh my God, this is, you know, when you're a little girl and you imagine your perfect Barbie doll Ken, and you're like, this is the man of my dream. That was, and I just could not believe. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, and I got really nervous, and I started shaking, and then we went to the dinner, and I looked like crap, and then I went in the bathroom, expecting any girl to give me mercy makeup, and not one girl walked in that bathroom. And this was at Asia de Cuba, so if you know the Mondrian, it's always packed.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Not one girl walked in. And all I had was my little rosebud, like a little lip gloss. And I said, okay, I'm gonna become J-Lo. I'm gonna put it all over my face. I'm just gonna glow.
Oh, you did not.
I did. Oh no. So I let my hair down. I'm like, let me fluff my hair, because I had it in a bun. I put the gloss all over my face, and I'm like, okay. So I just walked out, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't even have a bra. Like, be sexy or nothing. So I just went, and we had the best conversation. We talked about our passions in life. I'm extremely passionate about charity, and he told me his mom has been doing charity her whole life. So I was like, oh my God, because when you are going to be with someone, you're going to be with their family too. You know, so, and that's just the way it is. You marry everybody, you know.
And now you've been married for 16 years?
We've been married, no, we got engaged immediately. We met in February. He proposed to me in August on his birthday.
Wow.
And he proposed right away. And then I said, you know what? We need to take our time, because I always believe that you can't just, I mean, nothing wrong with people that decide to get married right away. But for me personally, I always believed, you know what? We need to see if we are great living together. It's a different thing dating than living. It's a different thing.
Absolutely.
You know, let's just see if this is really a forever situation, because I don't want to get divorced. So let's just see if it's going to, I come from a single mommy that was divorced. So I didn't want that for my kids. So I was like, let me just wait. Let's just wait. And we lived together for a while. We were happier than ever. We never, thank God, knock on wood, knock on anything. We don't fight because we have the same north. We have the same vision in life and the same morals, and so thank God we're very compatible with that. So we lived together for a while, engaged, and then we got married. We've been married now 9 years.
Wow.
Congratulations. That's such a beautiful story.
Thank you. And 2 kids down the road. We are so happy. And I had really bad pregnancies, and I can't imagine another soul that would have shared with me that such a hardship that was brought into my life with my pregnancies, like my husband. He was there for me day and night. He supports all my crazy endeavors. He is just my everything.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
What qualities do you most love about your husband?
When you were saying, I was listening to you when you were saying kindness is so important. I love how kind he is. I love how genuine he is. I love how, in Spanish we say, no hacer acepción de personas. It's like not making anybody different. He makes everybody feel the same. And for me, being raised in Puerto Rico, that was something always important. In Puerto Rico, there's no class division, there's no color, there's none of that. I didn't grow up with that. There's no, oh, you're black, oh, you're we're everything, because we are life, we're love, and that's what we should teach our children how to be. And I think that's what I love about him. He's kind, he's amazing.
I have a question for you then. For the women out there that are looking, they're going, they believe that there's somebody out there. They believe that story is what I think so many people desire to have.
Yeah, they want
what would you say for people that haven't found that person that's just right for them?
I would say don't settle, like I said before, don't settle for Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. Some guys also settle for Mrs. Right. Don't settle for a person that has come into your life and you're trying to make it work. If it doesn't work, it's not gonna work. So don't settle, just wait. And be open to love, because also you might not be open and Mr. or Mrs. Right is coming into your life and you're not open. So it's all about timing as well. You both have to be ready. But when you're ready, when you know what, I love myself enough to be able to give love, because the number one thing is you have to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, if you don't value yourself, if you don't take care of yourself, you have nothing to give. So you have to love yourself first. And once you love yourself enough to where you're ready to give that love, then just be open to find it. Let the right person come.
What's really interesting though is that so many people find the right person and it doesn't stay that right person.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that intimacy, maintain that relationship, maintain that feeling all these years later?
So people change. People, it's human nature. Some people change. However, I do believe if you give yourself enough time to know someone, then you will know what they're really about. Right. Because some people, unfortunately, become something they're not just to make you happy. Right. Like I said before, some girls do it a lot, some guys do it a lot. They become what they think you want them to be just to make you happy. So you have to give yourself time to know that person, time to see their ups and downs. Because life is not always going to be color pink. You know that life is going to throw curveballs at you, and you have to find a person that is going to be strong enough with you to accept those curveballs and go navigate life with you. So you have to just get to know that right person. And if somebody changes, I tell all my friends, if it's not a healthy relationship, if it's not right, get away from it.
Such great advice.
Get away. I told my mother, Mommy, I want you to get a divorce. And when I was a very young girl, and I think if it's not right, you have to be strong enough to step away.
Strong enough to let it go.
Yeah. We have to take a break, but I'm just, not only are you gorgeous, but you can tell an incredible story, and I'm blown away with the beauty inside and out.
You're so beautiful. You
sure.
all are.
Amazing, right? So when we come back.
I give it up to you guys. I just sit here and I just sit here and enjoy the beauty around me.
When we come back, we are going to hear the story behind your secret elixir and what keeps you looking so beautiful. Stay tuned.
We have Dr. Sandra Lee in the house, otherwise known as Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yes.
She is certified, board certified dermatologist, and she has over 2 billion views on YouTube. And holy smokes, girl, you go.
Right? Yeah, it's crazy. And it's all happened in the last, just a little over 3 years. So it's just been a whirlwind. And now we have a show coming out on TLC, and we have a book, and still pimple popping, and that's who would have thought, right?
Alcoholics everywhere are saying thank you for feeding our addiction. I mean, you really have created a subculture of a very loyal audience.
Right. Well, what it was really is that I discovered that there was this subculture, and I think we sort of helped to bring it mainstream, sort of help these popaholics kind of come out of the closet and not be afraid of like showing, you know, that they're proud of being popaholics, or they're proud of being like pimple poppers. It's so funny. I think a lot of people didn't realize even that they liked this stuff, and it's not really just about that. It's really about kind of understand. I know it's tough to watch sometimes. You got to start off a little light, you know, but you know, it's really about showcasing dermatology and what we physicians do, and teaching people how to take care of their skin, you know, and this is sort of the way to draw people in.
It's as educating as it is entertaining, really.
Yes,
really,
it's sort of like we trick people into education. Like all of a sudden now they know the difference between a cyst and a lipoma, or a blackhead and a whitehead, and they know, and then they learn how to take care of their own skin. So it's really been, it's just been an amazing, who would have thought, again?
But your story is very inspirational because, number one, you're a woman, and in today's history, it's a real time of women rising, and you are a professional. You work your tush off, and then you happen to kind of stumble onto something that was just so well received by the world. It's kind of a really cool story.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about girl power, woman power, and it's what's interesting to me is that I don't really feel that I'm different because I'm female, that, you know, maybe some people might think, oh, she's a surgeon or physician, like how, you know, she's a woman, but I've never thought that way. And I think that a lot of us should think that way. You know, I don't think that I'm not as good at surgery because I am a woman, sort of thing. So I think, and I'm bringing that out to people, and I don't think anyone ever really questions that, which I'm really proud of that fact.
How do you think you got that way? Have you always been that way? You've always sort of been unaffected by like social and cultural?
I think so. I mean, I think, you know, me being Asian and me being female never really made me think that I was, it was harder for me to do something. But I mean, I wasn't like trying to do hard labor either. I wasn't trying to break rocks or anything like that. I mean, I might not be able to do something like that. But, and I was never really, maybe it's my family too, they never really, you know, treated me like, because I was female, I should be treated more gently or carefully. I was, you know, they expected me to, you know, pursue my dreams and have a future. And I've always been, I don't think when I was a kid, I knew that I'm AAA personality, but now I fully embrace it and I understand that I am, and I just have to let it go.
So how would you explain this AAA personality?
I just think that I have a lot of things going on at the same time, and I literally only look one day in advance or 1 week in advance at the most, and it's hard for me to say no. That's probably my main thing. It's probably hard for me to say no, and now I'm learning I have to do it a little bit more because it's just there's too many things going on.
Because you have a family, you're
yes,
married.
I have a family, my friends, so I have a personal life. I have a whole full-time job. I'm a dermatologist too. I see patients almost full-time, and now I have another job of pimple popper, and then I have a TLC show that we're in the midst of filming and trying to finish up this book, which is driving me crazy, but I'm so proud of.
It's the nature of a book. Huh?
Yeah. Right.
Yes. We have a clip of some of your skincare work. Let's take a look.
Yes, and that's actually something we should.
But it is certainly a source of frustration and can really affect our mood and our self-confidence. Most of us at some point in our life are going to develop a pimple, and this is why there are so many products out there available on the market. But which one do you choose? It's very confusing. Even though developing a skincare line has been on my mind for quite some time, I really just didn't want to take a bottle and slap my trademark on it and call it my own. I wanted to take the time and develop one that would very specifically bridge this gap between over-the-counter products and a visit to your dermatologist. I am so excited to present to you my skincare line, SLMD. I wanted to give you anti-acne products that I myself would prescribe in my office to my own patients, things that you can use to fight your acne at your home without seeing a doctor. I'm so lucky to have such a loyal and supportive following on my social media. You are the ones who have come to me with questions about how to treat your acne, how to treat your skin, and I really wanted to take the time to develop products that are safe, that are reliable, that are effective. Thank you all very much for your feedback and support. It's because of you that I've been inspired to create this line in the first place. I hope that the products here will help you to achieve the results you want and give you the confidence of healthy, beautiful skin.
Do you,
Yes.
do you primarily deal with just pimples? Like someone like me, I have like the collagens going and the dark spots are coming and all that kind of stuff. But I would imagine it's all one thing, right? Taking care of your skin.
Right. Well, you know, I'm of course, in all my craziness, I forget to mention one of the biggest things that has happened in my life is my skincare line, and this really was able to come to fruition because of all this pimple popping business. And of course, to start it and to sort of make the first part of the line be an acne skincare line. I mean, that makes sense,
right?
Because we're talking about popping pimples primarily. But you know, what I really wanted to do with this, and I think is going to be really different than any other skincare line you'll see by a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon, is something that sort of bridges this gap between people who can see a dermatologist and the vast majority of us who can't, and they just go down the skincare aisle and they just are just confused, you know, or frustrated. So I'm trying to provide products that I myself as a dermatologist or other dermatologists would recommend to our patients. And so this makes sense to start with this, but yes, we're coming out with other things. Really, I want to try to create something that for those people who know they have issues, and I think they'll watch my videos and learn about what their issues are and kind of understand what treatment options there are, and then I'm going to create, you know, products in my line that will help them to treat their conditions.
Thank you, Dr. Cinderly, because this truly is one of the few products that I've ever tried that I saw a noticeable difference in my skin immediately. This active lifestyle body spray, by the way, she had this rat influencer yoga session, and she gave these out, and she said, put this in your gym bag, and you're never going to want to take it out. And I have it, and it has made all of the difference.
Wonderful.
It's so convenient. It's got like this 360 spray. You can just get any area of your back, because honestly, let's be real. Everybody has issues with their skin. It's not taboo. It's something we should just talk about, and you make it so relatable, accessible, fun.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's exactly what this is for, too, is something that, like, you know, people shouldn't be embarrassed about it, and you should keep it in your gym bag, and it's so nice because it's easy to use, and you're busy. You know, all of us are busy. You're running around. You don't have time necessarily to go back to your bathroom and take a shower and clean, you know, and really apply acne cleansers or acne treatment products. So this makes it very simple.
I remember
so
my
really
son
nice.
had acne when he was a teenager, and we bought like the Proactive online, and none of it worked, quite frankly, and it was really hard. You know, just that I think it's just hormonal and everything else, but you know, does this work for a teenage boy?
Yes, and I think that the important thing and how I try to make things different is, you know, this problem is with compliance too. You know, people try something, you don't really know why it's working, you don't know what it's doing, and so you just try it a few days and you go, oh, it's not working, I'm not, you know, I'm just not going to use it anymore. But I feel like if you put the control in people's hands, if you have them understand why certain products, why benzoyl peroxide works for you, what salicylic acid does to your skin, and why it's treating your blackheads, or what type of acne it treats. And if you understand those things and you know what that product does, you're more willing to use it. You understand, and you're more willing to put the commitment in, and then you're going to see results.
Well, absolutely, because when your skin looks good, you feel good.
Oh,
it
yeah,
just makes you so much more confident in the way you present yourself.
Absolutely, but you guys, you know, you guys look beautiful.
Oh.
So
You keep us that way.
You have no idea. This show has been like a crash course in beauty products for me, because I now have such a ridiculously exhaustive beauty regime. You have no idea, because oh my gosh. And so I'm at a point now where I'm like, I need to use all of it all the time. But I love this because it simplifies all of that.
Yes, it does. Yeah, and I think you cut to the chase. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there. I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar or trillion-dollar industry, I'm sure, you know, and it's something, it gets confusing. You know, what do you use? Some berry that they pick out in the Andes mountain that they hike up to because they say it's, you know, anti-aging, or, you know, I'm trying to provide things that I know are available and that we as dermatologists have been using for decades, and we know there's research behind it. You know, we know that these things work. So hopefully I can bring this to the mass, you know, the masses.
But your brand is brilliant, because you take entertainment and then you use it as a platform to really educate and really truly help people. So it's really so great to witness your
and
whole
it's been
thing.
crazy too. It's a little hard for me to, there's a fine line, because, you know, I am a physician, My patients are the most important thing to me. Their comfort. I don't want them to feel embarrassed about their conditions. And I think that they're helping other people to understand that it's okay to have acne, to have bad acne. It's okay to have a big cyst or a lipoma that's embarrassing looking, and you can get them treated, and it's not a scary thing to go through, but show that that's normal. That's just part of being human. And there's that part, but also you have to be able to get a lot of followers, you have to make things entertaining too. So there's a fine line that you have to kind of walk. But I think that the most important thing for me, as long as I maintain that my patients are the most important, then hopefully I can't go wrong. They're the ones that my main focus is on, and it's just been such a crazy ride with that. And
what do you love most about it? About this ride you've been on?
I think that a lot of people say that I'm really doing things to sort of change people's lives, and I see my patients sometimes come to me and they tell me the effect that removing whatever it was has had on them. But I don't know, I don't think of it that way. It's hard for me to absorb that or take the credit for that, because but I think that's why this is able to go on, because it's really making people happy. I mean, some people are grossed out about it, and okay, I understand. They can't stand to look at the stuff, but it's really in general made people who like to watch it, it makes them happy. It decreases their anxiety, and the patients that we're helping, we're making them better and more self-confident, and that's really the reason why this has been able to continue.
I just love that about it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like one of the things that it does is it desensitizes people.
Yeah.
It destigmatizes the whole thing.
Right.
Because I remember being a 16, 17-year-old boy, and I was so freaked out because I had so much acne, and I was taking Accutane, and I was trying to be proactive, and again, even at that age, I was trying everything. And I didn't feel like a lot of it worked, but I also didn't want to talk about it a lot.
Yeah, and the thing is too, is when, especially with acne in particular, it happens in a time of our life that we're just trying to figure out who we are, and we're trying to figure out how to relate to other people. And so having bad acne can really affect the way your personality develops, and it's important.
And for me, even as a woman, when my hormones started changing and the older I get, I didn't have acne as a teenager. I have it now. And dealing with this, and honestly, this helped me get my sexy back.
Yes.
Literally my
sexy back.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like, if I'm dating somebody and I don't want them to see my back because it's all broke out, because I'm stressed out and I'm heartbroken, I have all these hormones going through me, and this really helped me feel like, now I can show this off a little bit.
Right.
Nice. We did catch the double entendre there, Jess. Sexy back. Sexy back.
Intentional. Really.
Well, let's face the fact, there's nothing more satisfying than popping a good pimple. So,
so
where can they find you?
To watch them too.
I can't. I've seen your videos, and I'm like this.
But you peek a little.
Right? It's like a horror film. So how can people find you?
Well, it's Dr. Pimple Popper. So if you just Google that, you'll probably find it. But we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook and Instagram. Probably our two biggest are YouTube and on Instagram. But yes, we have a TLC show coming out in July. And my SLMD line is at slmdskincare.com.
Oh, well,
thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. And it was really fun, the event that we went to the other week also. And so looking forward to watching your show.
Thank you. I'm nervous about it. We'll see.
Oh, no. We're so excited. You've got the sexy back. Everybody loves you.
It'll be a segment of the show. Get your sexy back.
Absolutely. It's incredible to be a part of your Popaholic community. So thank you for being here. Right. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
Okay, welcome back. It has been an incredible journey watching our favorite episodes, our favorite interviews, knowing that we love all the interviews out there. Every single one of our guests, every single person that's been involved in the show, every person that is in our lives, our friends, our family. We just want to say that we love you. We enjoyed this journey. It's been such a great 6 months.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel nothing but gratitude, not only for the guest who's taking time out of their busy schedules to come on and share their life and their journey with us, but also for you two, for just all the incredibly hard work that you do on a daily basis. So thank you so much. I feel just gratitude, really.
And a very special thanks to the Focus TV community for including us, supporting us all the way through.
And for giving us this house.
Thanks. So nice of you to give us the house for the whole year,
I mean, geez. I knew I was valuable, but That's really up in the ante there.
And some of our favorite interviews are now also available as a podcast on iTunes.
That's right. You can find us every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook,
TV,
everywhere.
TV, anywhere the great TV is shown.
I'm tired. I'm going to the pool now.
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.
Right. We're waking up the world together. You guys share, like, and comment. We want to always support the people we love. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourself.